If you're on n8n 2.0 and your code nodes are breaking and you're non-technical like me, then this one is for you. n8n 2.0 had some breaking changes. Don't like the term breaking. Most pointedly, it's this part in here where it's making you now not have the task runner in external mode. I did not even know what task runners was. I've been using n8n for a while. I didn't know what this was until this point in here. Anyway, it wants you to have a separate Docker image, and it upgrading it just did a whole bunch. Updating it to 2.0 just did a whole bunch of stuff, bad stuff, right? So I went in there, had to look at the task runners documentation. This was too big brain for me. Something about an external runner, task broker, task requester. You can read it if you want, if you really want to get nerdy. But as a non-technical person, this was way too nerdy for me. Went to go look at a few GitHub issues and pages. That wasn't helpful either. And most of the YouTube video tutorials out there took like 15, 20 minutes to get to the point. So let's not do that to you. Listen, if you want the copy paste version of this, the link is in the description down below. You can actually just go to this page in here, and I give you exactly, you can just read through the steps if you want. And also I'll give you the copy paste version of stuff that you can put into your various different Docker config files. Now, for the rest of this video, I'll just be talking you through how to SSH into your instance, especially if you are on a VPS like DigitalOcean, Hostinger, etc., and you've used Docker to install n8n, then this one absolutely is for you. I'll be showing you how to SSH in rather than have to use your, go in there, use your console, open it up, and create files or edit files inside a console. Anyone who's tried that, you'll know how painful that is, whether it's console inside of DigitalOcean or even if you use terminal. Painful. So we're going to use an IDE instead. So let's go do that now. I want you to go into a VS Code, a cursor, doesn't matter as long as it's a VS Code fork, and go into extensions, go get your remote SSH. You just have to type in remote and search for it, hit the install button. And after you've hit the install button, what I want you to do is on your Mac, because I'm on a Mac, I don't know what the Windows version is, Command-Shift-P. And this is recent for me, so that's why it's showing up here, but I want you to search for connect to host. And you want to click on this and add your new SSH host. So just follow this format, this syntax, and enter your host title. You can name this whatever you want, and get your instance IP. I even show you where to get your instance IP if you're on DigitalOcean. And the other VPS is you just essentially going in here and getting this instance IP and throwing that in. Once you've saved that, I'll show you what that looks like. You can SSH into, so this is the one that I named with my thing. I'm not going to show you what my IP address is. That'd be crazy. Once you click on that, it'll open up a new window. I set my DigitalOcean up with a password, not with an SSH key, just because I wanted to move fast. So all you got to do is then copy the password if you've done the same, paste it in here, and it will let you into your instance. And as you can see in here in the terminal, it says root and the name of my instance, which is great. I want to open a folder, and you want to go up in here if you've got the same setup as me and open the OPT folder. All right. And get into n8n Docker Caddy. I'm going to hit OK here. All right. Once we're in here, there are 3 files that we want to update. First is the Docker composed YAML file. Let me just pull this down. It's the Docker composed YAML file. Copy and paste this. I want to call a few things out though. All right. I've got prior setups in here, but effectively down here is the stuff that impacts the whole external runners thing. You'll notice that there is a runner token. We'll be setting that up later as well using the .env. That's the main thing. And also there's a runner part in here as well. Now, listen, before you start doing this, if you go and read the doc, I want you to, before you start doing any of this type of stuff, I really should have brought this up earlier. I'm really, really sorry. But before you start this, make sure you take a snapshot here. Take a snapshot of your instance before you do any type of changes. That way, if you mess something up or if my instructions are absolutely crap, then you can roll back to that instance and start from there. So just make sure you take a snapshot of your instance first, okay? All right, let's get back into it. Copy paste this once you've copy pasted this, hit the save button. We're going to move on to the next thing, which is the Docker file.runners, which you can see down in here. The YAML file points to dockerfile.runners. So we go into dockerfile.runners. Don't even worry about this. We're not even using it whatsoever. Okay, this is just something that was I spun up when I was tinkering around. None of the other files point to this dockerfile.n8n. All right, in the Dockerfile runners. Again, just copy paste this. I've also commented things out so you know what's happening here each step of the way. For non-technical, this is like small brain stuff. Okay, no big brain stuff in here. Now, I want you to pay attention to the Python packages and libraries that we have in here. So NumPy, Pandas, and Pillow. All right, because we'll be doing that for the test later. All right, once you've got this, then we got the n8n task runners JSON, which, by the way, this file points to. So you'll notice the YAML file pointed to the runners. The runners is pointing to the JSON. Following so far? I hope you are. All right, copy paste this. Now, I do want to call something out, though, if you're copy pasting this. Small brain stuff, I promise. The environment overrides in here says node function allow built in, and there's an asterisk. External, there's an asterisk. Same thing for Python. Anywhere there's an asterisk, it pretty much says allow any library to be installed and run by the system, any whatsoever, which means this is very convenient because it's just run any. Especially for someone who is, say, for example, you're just running your own n8n instance. It's not like you have a bunch of people in there as well, right? Why am I bringing this up? Because it might be convenient, but not as secure. So just keep that in mind. You can explicitly call out, and please just you can go Google this or LLM chat this, and just copy this in and be like, hey, how do I make this more secure? How do I call out specific libraries that I want to allow so that I disallow any non-specific ones? All right. So that's pretty much it. Once you've hit those, once you've copied and pasted your YAML file, your .runners, and your JSON, once you've pasted that in, make sure you save each file. And once you've saved each file, wait, actually, I lie. The .env. Let's go back here. Now, because this is dynamic, we don't want to be punching this in every single time. I show you down here how you can paste your generated token. All right. Now, I also show you here how you can get in your terminal a way to create a random token string. And then inside your .env file, you just want to create this line and add your paste your token in here, okay? And make sure that there's no space after the equal. You'll be good to go. Once you save that, I'm not going to show you my env file because my hash is in there. So once you've hit save on your .env, your YAML, your .runners, and your JSON, you're pretty much good to go. All you got to do is go into your terminal and copy paste this and compose up and build it. And let's see what that looks like. So once I paste this in here and I hit run, it's just going to start building a bunch of stuff. It'll take a bit longer for you because all this stuff, I've already have in place, but it might take a bit longer for you. But once it's good to go, you can see that it's built, it's running. Now let's do the final test in here. I give you a bunch of code nodes to copy paste. If you remember earlier in here, we've got NumPy, Pandas, and Pillow. These tests in here have NumPy, Pandas, Pillow, and then I've put in a beautiful soup 4 test, which is not a library that we've installed. So if I hit execute workflow, let's see what happens. It'll run through each one. Hey, by the way, n8n, I really like this new animation. It's pretty cool compared to the old one where it's that small little thing, nice and sexy. So we can see they all succeeded. There were no errors. And in here it says, hey, NumPy is installed and working. Awesome. It'll do the same for the other two, but look at Beautiful Soup. Confirmed the Beautiful Soup is not in the sandbox. This proves that runners are restricted to your specific Docker file builds. So that's how you can then, I just wanted to show you what happens if you have something installed with your Python packages and something that isn't. So there you have it. That's pretty much it, right? No big brain stuff in here. I hope this was helpful. Go get the copy paste. That makes life a lot easier. And it didn't take 15 to 20 minutes to get to the point. All right. I hope this was helpful. See you in the next one.